and welcome to Monday. Just thought I'd do another live lunchtime update. Today I thought I would talk about some of the benefits around building lean muscle tissue and why I tend to focus a lot of my programming on resistance-based training. And there's a reason for that. So a lot of people don't realise the benefits of having lean muscle mass, and you don't need to be a bodybuilder or train like a bodybuilder to build lean muscle mass, right? So that's one thing just to get straight off the plate. But there's quite a few benefits. So one of them, if you are looking at a body transformation, for example, then lean muscle tissue can actually be the difference. It impacts about 20% of your metabolism. So obviously, if you're trying to go on a body recomposition or a fat loss journey or a weight loss journey, then the more muscle tissue that we can either preserve or the more muscle that we build, then the better results we kind of get out of metabolism. The other piece, of course, as well, is when we start to lose weight, we still want to keep shape, right? And the best way to shape our bodies is obviously to help build some lean muscle tissue, which will help give you that beautiful shape and a physique that fills out clothes nicely and makes you feel good, right? The other thing is, as well, is that once we hit the age of 30, and I've long passed that one, we actually lose anywhere between 2 to 5% of lean muscle tissue per decade, and that can actually be accelerated to as much as 8%, depending on our predisposition and sort of a few other individual kind of social factors. So obviously, the more muscle mass we have, or the more that we build, then we kind of offset that 2 to 5% muscle decrease that we lose, right? The third part is as well is that that lean it'll actually enhance our performance as well. So whatever sport you do, doing a little bit of resistance training will actually help you get increased benefits out of any kind of sporting activity that you want to do, or even just physical activity. And even if you walk, doing a bit of resistance training is going to help you to do that. So it obviously helps build strength, endurance. It can help us, for our overall health and well-being, but also can create better ranges of movement for us as well, because we're challenging our bodies in new ways, and also improve our balance, which becomes very important as we age as well, right? Like, one of the main causes of severely impacting the quality of life as we age is, when we fall down and break a hip or something like that. So obviously, the more balance we have, the more muscle we have, the less likely that we're going to suffer adverse effects from those sorts of things or be in that position. Another part that's often not talked about as well is that as we age, muscle mass and lean muscle tissue actually really helps with managing kind of the symptoms or the impacts, I guess, that perimenopause, which can start as early as your late 30s and 40s or early 40s, menopause and andropause, which is never really talked about, which is basically menopause, right? So there's a whole bunch of things that changes around your hormonal profile. Your endocrine system changes. We tend to put on more fat around the midsection, all those sorts of things from that point of view. But resistance training and incorporating that into your daily routine can actually help offset or mitigate some of those impacts and the whole gamut of health issues that comes along with that. So that part I was reminded of as I was re-listening an awesome podcast interview that I did with Gail Walker, who is a proud mum and grandma. She's a former triathlete. She actually didn't start weightlifting until she was in her late 30s, after she had a couple of pivotal decisions around how she wanted to live her life and all those sorts of things. Used to be an active runner, but then weightlifting actually changed the way that she was performing, and she did triathletes at sort of later in the years and so on as well. So she's now, I don't want to say, let's just say that it's been a few decades since she's been 30, in her 30s, but she's now actively, still helping others as an exercise physiologist, really helping people with mental health issues, and also dealing with getting back or training for the first time in terms of preserving or building lean muscle tissue. So she's really working really well with people in her community and giving them support that they're often kind of overlooked or not sure where to go. Provides a safe environment and does really great things with them. She's got some very interesting views around how weight training actually helps us as we age. She obviously advocates for it, to quite fit and healthy herself. And yeah, just a great example of what your leadership shadow and also changing your mindset or being open to learning new things can really change and challenge you and set you on a different path. So if you're looking for inspiration or that reason to start making a change, or if you think it's too late, then I think this podcast would be for you. So keep your eyes peeled. That will be out next Wednesday at 6 p.m. We're releasing it exclusive, the Zoomcasts exclusively to our community members, so both the public and the private one, and then it will be published that week, later in the week, on Spotify as well for your listening benefit. So any questions about that, hit me up, and if not, keep an eye out and enjoy the rest of your Monday.